Alrighty, let's do a video in reference to projects. Okay, there are two ways to get to projects. You have your Guild Island here, which you can see is right out here past the Sundale. Okay, and your projects happen to be this red building right here. Alright, this guy right here. Now, as you can see, there's a Z on it. Now, there's another way to get to the projects. When you click in here, it'll give you the list of projects that are here. Alright, and no, we're not high enough to have the corn one yet, or the peanut butter and strawberries, or peanuts and strawberries. It's not peanut butter, it's peanuts and strawberries. The maize is corn and sunflowers, but we do have all the others. Okay, and guild tournament is going on right this moment, which is based on this. So the object in this happens to be is that I'm going to click over here on milk, and you want to run this when you have this little character down here with points. Okay, all right, so if you don't have, there are some of these, as you can see, bring that back up here, that has these little ribbons. Okay, as you can see down here, that's where I'm trying to get you to look, down at the bottom, those ribbons. And the thing of it is that the ones that don't, they won't have one until 5 hours, which is a percentage that you get to add to your score. Okay, your score for guild tournament is this guy right here. All right, and when this guy equals 5 hours and 40 minutes from now, we'll get another percentage that equals up to what these guys actually have. Okay, the thing of it is that the other feature about projects is that you do get guild coins. Okay, that's right here, tells you about the little pink coins. All right, I think I've got a video in reference to that already out. And then it also builds your guild points, okay, which levels your guild. So there's several things that happens when you run a project. These last two items I mentioned, guild points and guild coins, they happen all the time, even without the tournament. Okay, but the points for the tournament all comes from right here. All right, so if I go into another one here, go back down here into milk, you'll see that we get 1%. And if I pick 2 stars or 3 stars, and you're going to ask me where am I clicking on these stars at, and that's right here. Okay, I'm going to take the 3 stars off here in a second so you can see that. So down to 1 star, 2 star, but you see how these other features keep changing with which stars. Okay, all right, these stars right here. So when I go up to 3 stars, that number will go up higher. All right, and 3 stars, now I'm at 3%. Score points will be 152. So hence the reason why you run the higher milks, the higher of each one of these guys. Okay, now it'll show you what's in the locked positions, so you can see that you can definitely get up there in percentages and up there in points. All right, we're not there yet. We're working on it. We're a new guild, so we're still working on it. But that's how all this actually works. Okay, all the different points here. Now remember that when you do run these things, you have a time frame. Okay, that time frame, those points are what change. The points change, the time frame does not. So watch the time frame. I go from 4 points, 4 coins, 13 on the guild points, and 1%. Go to 2 star. Oh, wait a minute. And that was at 4 hours. Go to 2 star, and I go 16, 16, 51, and 2%, but I'm still at 4 hours. And 3 stars, I'm still at 4 hours. 4 stars, I'm still at 4 hours. So you got to gain 28,000 milks in 4 hours. Okay, so back down here at 1, an individual can do this once they hit level 20. Okay, and they've upgraded their milk. If you get your milk upgraded to level 5, then you will definitely be able to do 1 star and possibly even 2 star in that 4 hours. Okay, we'll get into productions on another video of what levels you really need to be shooting for on some of these items, because it really does help. But yeah, there you go. So that gives you an idea how the stars work, how the points work, all those different features. Now, projects wise, which projects should you run? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start this, because I was going to tell you that there's 2 ways to get to projects. Now, when you start a project, it shows up down here in the bottom. Okay, and that's right here. All right. When it shows up at the bottom, you can always click on the project and it will take you into the list of projects. All right. Now, each project has a certain amount of things it runs, such as getting milk. Get milk is just milk. Canny and corny happens to be just canned corn. Tomato or tomato comes up and being just tomatoes. Exit strategy is just eggs. But then we get into grain expectations and we have cornbread and wheat. Sugar cane is just, sweeten the deal, it's going to be sugar cane. Your chili challenge is just going to be chili. But then you end up with beans eat off, and you have canned beans versus growing beans. And then we get up here into these top ones, and they have multiple things, and their multiple items happen to take the longest amount of time. So you really have to plan for these. Carrot cake crush. Carrots take 6 hours. Prank salad. Potatoes take 6 hours. Maize, which I can't click on, as you can tell. Happens to be sunflowers, takes 6 hours. And then you've got the perfect match, or what it's supposed to, made in heaven match, or something to that effect. I forget what it's called, but something like that. But it's peanuts and strawberries, and both of them are 3 and 6 hours, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so that's what you're looking at to run those things. Now, the other feature that you have to pay attention when you go to run something is you cannot do grains expectations if you don't have enough canned corn. So it would be best to run canned corn before grains expectations. And it would be best to run maize, because that's what has corn just in it, because that's what you need for canned corn. Okay, so there's a whole list of ways that you can run this, and there is a way that you can break this down, and there's a couple of different directions you can go. I wrote one of them out, so let's scroll over to my other page here, which is my Excel spreadsheet, and it comes up in dark, I'm sorry, but all the projects are written out right here, which is, as I was reading off, get milk, canny and corny, okay, tomato or tomato, eggs extraction, and so forth. And then I also wrote it out. Now, I've shared this actually on the Facebook page, which happens to be a community, Facebook Big Farm Homestead Community. Not Big Farm Homestead, because that's a developer's page, but Big Farm Homestead Community is a player's page, and that's where players actually dictate what goes on the forum there. So they've allowed me to post these things, and so I try to share these different things. My production list is posted in there, which happens to be how everything is actually produced, all the productions, or what makes what, such as corn goes into cannery, comes out as canned corn, goes into bakery, comes out as cornbread, goes into food cart, comes out as chili dog. Okay, and so forth. So different things. Soybean, feed mill, cow feed, Cow feed produces milk and manure. Manure goes into silo, fertilizer, berry grove, strawberries. Strawberries goes into the shake shop. Shake shop makes milkshakes. Okay. And then over here on this side, it's just telling you which levels you will have which things being added to you. All right. So, like here, 27 level 25 through 27, you got something on every single one happening. Every single level, which happens to be Copper and Golden Hills. I don't know why I did Copper Hills, but yeah, anyway, I'll have to fix that later. Goat House, which is added at 25, Berry Grove, which is added at 26, and Oil Press added at 27, and then there's nothing 28, 29. All right, that just touched base over how that was written out. Okay, and as you can see, it's just a tab difference from here. Projects. So on the left hand side, I have everything written out of every project. Okay, and where these items come from. Sugar cubes come from sugar cane. Canned beans comes from red beans. Canned beans there again. Let's see here. So in other words, chili needs canned beans. Beans eat off needs canned beans. These are different things that will be needed for those things. Over here on this side, I wrote out an actual way of running, order to run. So if you was to get up in the morning and want to run this, or whenever you actually log on, you wanted to run a complete list of everything you've got, of all the projects, then you would actually go through, and this would actually make it to where it's easy. So prank salad would be first, because potatoes take 6 hours. So therefore, as soon as you get done with running the potatoes, then you'll start going in with the lettuce and peppers. If it was me, I would actually have somebody growing peppers and somebody growing lettuce, 2 or 3 people, as long as you can cover your potato count that you need to run for the stars. So if your star says you need 1 star is like 700, so, and then 2 stars is like 1300 or 1400. So if you got enough people that can run 1400, then that's all you have. Do potatoes, and then the rest of the people do the lettuce and peppers. After it's done running, replenish what the barn needs. So you just keep on growing that stuff until your barn's full. On maize, all comes off of Golden Hills. Correction, comes off of Sundale. Sundale sunflowers and corn. So you pick your sunflowers. So that's a 6-hour thing. You have that growing overnight, and then you run your corn after it. It's only 1 minute and 30 seconds, so it's really easy to run. Once you get done running maize, you plant wheat, but you go right into carrot cake and you go do sugar cubes and carrots. You should have plenty to do sugar cubes, because your last items down here, third to the last, is sugar cane. So that will give you plenty of sugar cane to make sure you have sugar cubes in the morning. Okay, that you'll be able to start sugar cubes sometime in the morning. All right, and then by the time you get to it, they'll be ready. So therefore, that's where that's at. After you get done doing the carrots and finishing off carrot cake, then I would be running red beans, because you're going to need them down here at beans eat off. So that way you'll have them prepped. You'll go right into canned corn, which I would have already started canned corn back whenever I started prank salad, so that way I know my cans would be ready and cornbread would be ready. Cornbread's only 15 minutes, canned corn's 27 minutes at max. It's less time if you actually have gone up in levels. So hence, that's how this is written out, to whereas it gives you what you can run in order. Going down carrot cake, corny, and then grain expectations, get milk, beans eat off, chili challenge. But over on the right hand side, it tells you what to plant after each of these different things. Okay, so that's where I would actually go to take a look at this list, and then you could actually figure out that everything will work in a pattern, and you won't have to worry about waiting for something to grow, because it'll already be grown or already through production, and you'll just switch from one project to the next. There you go. There's my list of projects. There's everything that I wanted to bring to your attention in reference to projects and how projects works, where you get it, where you figure out what you're doing, who's running the projects. That's up to you and your guild. I know in our guild, we come across everybody's an officer, so that way anybody can run a project. I try to ask newbies that come in and we make them officers, so I try to ask them not to run projects, but other than that, yes. That's how we do these things. So anybody can run a project. I don't tell anybody they can't run it, but I do tell people to pay attention to what's in chat, because we do post in chat sometimes of what we plan on running. Okay, so if somebody posts in chat saying I'm going to run the next 3 projects and these are it, then that's what we pay attention to and let them run them. If they happen to be absent when it comes ready, then one of the other people can go in there and click on it, keeping the order still go. Any other case, there you go. I've chatted long enough. It's time to say goodbye. Peace, love, and jelly beans, people. Y'all enjoy.